Yeah, this is the Gospel with Simplicity, and so awesome to be back again. And yours is a ministry, a gathering of lovers of God. And what do? We work or we put ourselves in that place where we inspire people for the love of God to be made manifest from within them. And yes, today is another day, and God always has something to say to us for every moment, for every time. And yes, we are starting the week. This is the last week, and this week is going to mark the end of the month of August and the beginning of the month of September. Yes, one thing that is common amongst a lot of people is the quest for a breakthrough or a breaking forth in certain regards of their life. One of the ways we understand the joy of a breakthrough, like I made a quote some time ago, is like the birth of a child. And when a child breaks forth, breaks through the womb and comes out, there's no way that child is getting back in. Even if you have been called barren, from the moment you have your child, nobody can ever call you barren. And yes, regardless of who we are or who we think we might know or our unique situations, a lot of people find themselves in this place where there's a need for a breakthrough in certain aspects of their life. Sometimes it could be for a child, sometimes it could be for finances, sometimes it could be for health, it could be for one unique thing. When we talk about science, you know, when there's a breakthrough in science, it means something that has not been done has just been done. You know, it's something that will take you from one level to another level. It might not be new to a whole lot of other people, but it might be new to you because you might have struggled for it for a couple of years. And, you might have labored, you might have been in pain. You know, one of the ways to understand what a breakthrough, sometimes you might think, oh, because some people are pastors, they do not need breakthroughs, or because some people are high up there, they do not need breakthrough. I will recall the story of Daniel in the Bible, and that was the story where the angel had to come speak to Daniel. That was Daniel chapter 10, verse 11. And he said unto me, O Daniel, a man greatly beloved, understand the words that I speak unto you, and stand upright, for unto you am I now sent. And when he had spoken this one unto me, I stood trembling. Then he said unto me, fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that thou set your heart to understand and to chasten yourself before God, your words are heard, and I am come for your words. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 1 day and 20 days. But lo, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me, and I remained there with the king of Persia. The angel Michael had to come. There are certain breakthroughs that are significant in your life because it speaks of victory in every regards of your life. It speaks of victory in every regards of your life. But, we do understand this. For someone who, okay, when it's time to get a job after school, it's easy for him to get a job. It might not feel like a breakthrough. But for someone who has labored for 10 years looking for that job, and when he finally gets that job that gives him the fulfillment and the satisfaction, it's a breakthrough to him because he's in a place where he wants to be. For someone who has wanted a child for so long, you know, people have mocked you, your in laws have mocked you, some have called you barren. But when you have that child, nobody can call you barren again. And the beautiful thing about this is that when you break through in a certain situation, you will never need another breakthrough in that situation again. Once you give birth to a child, you can no longer be barren. Once you break through in your finances, especially when your breakthrough is of God, You will not need another breakthrough because that breakthrough is an open door. You know, because it's a gift of God. James 1:17 speaks about the way God's gifts come. It said every good gift and every perfect gift is from above and cometh down from the Father of lights, with whom there's no variableness, neither shadow of turning. When God gives you a gift, it is beautiful. But where I want to point us to, you know, depending on how important that breakthrough is for you, how well do you press to have that breakthrough? How well do you press? There's the story of Hannah and Peninnah, wives of Elkanah in the Bible in 1 Samuel chapter 1. Peninnah, the first wife, had kids, while Hannah had no child. She seemed to be barren. Her husband would do everything he could please her, but she was upset. You know, when you're in a home and you think, for me to really stand out as a wife or be in this family, I should have my own child. But yet she was not having. But we can learn from her example. She went at the time to Shiloh, where they were meant to offer sacrifices to God. You know, 1 Samuel chapter 1 verse 10 says, and she was in bitterness of soul and prayed unto the Lord and wept sore. Sometimes when we come unto God, if you're not emotionally connected to your breakthrough, then the breakthrough might be far away from you. In this situation, Hannah was emotionally connected to her breakthrough. When you get to a point of emotional connection, it's a point where, you know, it's not just what goes on in your head. It's now even in your subconscious. And a lot of times the realm of our faith works from the realm of subconsciousness, where we've assimilated the word or assimilated a notion in our heads. And we've thought about it for so long. We are emotionally attached. We've regurgitated on it. There's been repetition. I need this, I need this, I need this. I have to get this. Hannah wept. You know, she knew she just had to have it. 1 Samuel chapter 1 verse 11 said, and she vowed the vow and said, O Lord of hosts, but if you will indeed look on the affliction of your maid, your handmaid, and remember me, and not forget your handmaid, but will give unto me, or give unto your handmaid a man child. She was specific. She didn't say, I just want a child. She said, a man child. She knew exactly what she wanted. Then I will give him unto the Lord all the days of his life, and there shall no razor come upon his head. There's what we call specificity of prayers. Sometimes when we pray to God, sometimes we are what we call ambiguous. We're like, oh God, just give me. We do not even know exactly what we want. But this was Hannah. She had pondered, she had reasoned, she knew what she wanted. And beautiful, like I said, once a breakthrough comes, there is rejoicing. She promised to lend the child over to God. You know, she promised to lend the child over to God. And behold, God, the priest Eli came around, and behold, she had that child. And the priest Eli blessed Elkanah and his wife and said, the Lord give you the seed of your womb for the loan which is lent to the Lord. And when they went unto their home, Hannah gave that child back to God. But see the testimony. Once you have a breakthrough, the breakthrough is an open door. You will not struggle in that regards again. 1 Samuel 2 chapter 21 says, and the Lord visited Hannah so that she conceived and bare 3 sons and 2 daughters. And the child Samuel grew before the Lord. That's beautiful. And that's the reason why we need to have a breakthrough in certain regards. We must have to press on. We might be so successful in so many other regards, but that aspect where we need the breakthrough is so significant. It might be significant to you, significant to your father, significant to your mother, significant to your husband or your spouse. significant to your ministry. You know, that is a drawback. It's like sometimes finances, the breakthrough of finances can be so important for how well some people can take the gospel. And that's why the breakthrough is of utmost importance. I like First Samuel chapter 2, okay, Isaiah chapter 54, verse 1. It says, "Sing, O barren that did not bear, break forth into singing and cry aloud that did not travel with child, for more are the children of the desolate than the children of the married wife, said the Lord." This is an expression that, yes, even with God, you might feel like you don't have what it takes, but God can give you more. God can still give you a breakthrough. God can give you a breakthrough. Hannah would testify with songs. She said, "They that were full have hired out themselves for bread, and they were hungry ceased." But they get the point. So that the barren had given birth to 7, and she that had many children is waxed feeble. The barren, how possible is it for a barren to give birth to 7? A barren cannot give birth. You might have been called the barren land. You might have been barren in certain regards. But the power of God, even as you press on, will overtake you. Just as the angels of the Lord came into union to break every resistance, you will need to press on for this breakthrough. Because this breakthrough is significant for your joy. It's significant for your ministry. It's significant for your family. It's significant for your purpose. We can learn from Hannah. She was ready to make a vow, sow a seed, and join prayer. Daniel was one who was praying, even when there was resistance, even though God had heard. Sometimes the resistance we face is because of how significant that breakthrough is. Abraham had to wait till the age of 800 before he had a child, because that child was going to be a seed, a promised child, that's going to bring the love of God to all generations. I like the story of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. 3 generations. Abraham, his wife Sarah was barren. They waited. But one thing about Isaac, his wife Rebekah was barren. But the Bible categorically said that Isaac entreated the Lord on behalf of his wife. Isaac entreated. When we say entreat, that is, he pleaded with God on behalf of his wife. So probably if that train of waiting for so long had been in the family, by the fact that he had to press on for his answers, God answered his prayers. They waited, but they didn't have to wait so long. Genesis chapter 25, verse 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. You might think it's a norm for you not to be able to have that breakthrough, but do not get satisfied maybe because it's common amongst everybody around you. It was a trend. Even Isaac's son Jacob, his wife Rachel too, was barren, until God answered. They might have been barren, but the testimony is that the barren shall conceive. Your finances shall blossom and prosper. You shall become wealthy. Even as you decide, take a step of faith. Probably it might be a seed, a vow, tarrying in prayers, but you need to press on because that breakthrough matters. Just like childbirth, where you have to labor for there to be a breaking forth. Yeah, probably yes, that is so significant. It's like childbirth. You must have to press on. Do not become complacent and think like, oh, the Lord has not given me. Your delays might have been just because of how significant it is to your person. to your purpose. Even as you heard this word, I pray for God to give you the ease to break forth and to break through with ease. That even as you set your heart, you set your emotions to it, God is going to answer with immediate effect. The angels are going to work on your behalf and are going to work on my behalf. That this week shall be a work of testimony. For where there's been shame, there will be glory. The power of God will rest upon your situation. Those who have mocked and laughed at you, they will say of the truth, we thought he won't have it, but he has it now. They will say, of course, now we know that he has a God. For those who are sick, even as you join me to intercede, the healing and manifest power of God brings total healing upon you. I declare and proclaim you here. This week, there shall be a breakthrough, a manifest breakthrough. Even as you sow your seeds of faith, even as you set your heart, even as you make your vows, even as you tarry in prayer, even as you do that which is unusual to connect with God, even as you are emotionally attached, this week shall be a week. The breakthrough shall come. And once that door is open, there shall be an overflow. In the mighty name of Jesus. Stay blessed and do have a wonderful season. Have a beautiful week.